We'd like to thank you for coming out this morning. Today we're talking about the big picture, our comprehensive master planning process that we launched earlier this year. You know, since this public launch in May, Huntsville citizens have actively been talking and taking part in record numbers. We have lots of people, we have lots of ideas. Most of us are not planners, but we put on our planner hat and we start talking about what we want to see happen with our city. And our public response has exceeded all expectations. Our planning department has offered a wide range of outreach and educational events, and that's shown that people are hungry for that engagement on long-range planning topics. You can see right here we have Citizens Academies coming up next week, and people want to talk about Huntsville's future. People want to be a part of Huntsville's future. We want people to have buy-in on Huntsville's future. We want them to feel like this is their plan, not just our plan. And so we're hearing from citizens, and they talk about the evolution of Huntsville, how we're evolving, and how we're evolving of a town. And their expectation is that Huntsville's going to change, and they want to be part of that change. They want to be part of that plan as we change, and they want to help shape the growth and the future of this city. That's something very important. If we don't have fellowship, we don't have a good plan. So we want everybody to feel like this plan is their plan. We want everybody to feel like that they are part of the planning process in the city of Huntsville to come up with a plan that addresses the future of where this city is going to go. And to tell us more about it today, we have our long-range urban planner, Dennis Madsen. Dennis has been leading this 18-month process, and it will be an 18-month process. Dennis brought his wife with him today, Laura. Laura, thank you for coming in the back. And Dennis is going to talk about some of the public gatherings, the citizens advocacy academies, the focus groups, the online surveys, the feedback that we've been getting, so that he can kind of refer to you what kind of feedback we're getting. And then we'll ask Michelle Jordan, who is our city planner, to come in and to talk and kind of wrap it up and talk about why it's important that we have a comprehensive plan. Dennis?
Thanks, sir. Good morning. Thanks, everyone, for coming. I want to touch basically on two really overarching notions. First is the citizen input that we've gotten thus far. We really had, I think a lot of you were involved in the kickoff meeting in May. Since then, we've had scores of public meetings. We've done what we call kiosk events, where we go out to large events like National Night Out or North Huntsville's Neighborhood Festival. We go out and we really bring the big picture message to them. And it really continues to be a dialogue. We go out and we talk and we engage the public and say, we're not here to tell you what the plan is. We are here to talk with you about what the plan should be. We've had our first round of focus groups already. We're probably going to have another batch later this year. We've had, I think a lot of folks came to our Ditto Landing Citizen Academy, so there's been a lot of dialogue. We've met with groups ranging from Hudson Alpha to a number of civic associations, and even a Boy Scout troop in South Huntsville. So we've been talking to basically anyone who will listen, and meeting with anyone who wants to have us. And it's been, as the mayor mentioned, incredibly exciting to see the amount of outreach and the amount of folks who are really interested in sharing their ideas for the city of Huntsville. One of the hardest things about being a planner can be when you go to a community that just isn't interested or is very laissez-faire or kind of apathetic about planning for their future. That is not the case in this city by any stretch of the imagination. Folks are really anxious to talk about the future, really anxious to talk about growth and how growth can happen intelligently and in a way that is good and prosperous for everyone. So we've been incredibly pleased by that. We had one of the best surveys I've ever done in terms of amount of responses that we put together on the heels of Ditto Landing. That really pointed to us that there was a lot of interest in engaging, not just on broad topics, but on very specific topics. all that has now been leading up to this next round of Citizen Academies. And one of the reasons, I think a lot of you have seen that we had to break it into 2 nights, and part of that is in response to a lot of that public dialogue. We keep hearing a lot of focus on economic development, a lot of focus and interest on the market and how our demands are changing and how the economy is changing. And this is really in response to that. We had so many topics out there that we wanted to address that we had to break it into 2 days. So the first night we're doing up at Lee High School, and the second night we're doing at Challenger Middle. And what we're doing, we're going to start off with a couple of presentations on a variety of economic topics, and then we're going to have some breakout sessions at the end and really let folks kind of share some ideas, particularly on where they think are priority areas for redevelopment and how we might best redevelop some of those areas. Going forward after that, we're probably going to do another Citizen Academy in October. We've got that one tentatively scheduled for October 14th, a Tuesday. Also looking at a North Huntsville location. That's going to be on neighborhood revitalization, drilling down a little bit on how you turn neighborhoods around when they're struggling, or how you get ahead of potential neighborhood disinvestment. And then we'll probably hit another round of focus groups, and then go into late winter and spring, do some more Citizen Academies. We're continuing to do our Book a Planner events and our focus groups and our kiosk events. You know, the outreach is ongoing. We like to say this is still the dialogue phase. We're still doing a lot of outreach. We're still getting a lot of comments back. It's very important to us, and we want to make sure we cover as much ground as we can. At the end of the day, really what I want folks to appreciate too is that we're not working towards kind of lines on a map here. We're working towards really goal statements. We want folks at the end of this process to say, we've got 6 or 8 overarching goals. The city of Huntsville in the next 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years should look like this. It should offer this. And then underneath that, we have some strategies, and we have some priorities, and we have some projects that help buttress that. But it really gets everyone kind of pointing in the same direction, sharing a vision, and working towards that vision through some very concrete goals. That is really the end result, at least of this process. And, you know, we always say in planning, there's never really an end result. You just kind of keep planning. But we're really going to carry that implementation forward, probably in the middle of next year. If we, 18 months is what we're shooting for, because we really want to do a good and thorough job. But I think you're going to start seeing some of these ideas really take concrete shape middle of next year. With that, actually, so we can leave enough time for y'all to do Q&A, I want to turn it over to Michelle.
Thank you, Dennis. Mayor, you're really excited about the opportunities for the public to have input, really meaningful input in this process. As planners, we don't plan from behind the desk. If we did, it would be our plan. This is not going to be our plan. This is going to be your plan. And so we really do encourage you to come out and participate. We haven't had a comprehensive plan prepared in over 40 years, and it's time. We want to be ready for opportunities that come to us as a city. We want to be ready to take advantage of them and have our goals set in place, and we're really excited about this opportunity to hear from you. So we really encourage you to come out next week and participate in all of the events over the next several months. Mayor?
Thank you, Michelle. As you can tell, this is going to be, and it is right now, it's a process of bringing everybody in the city into the planning process. Next week's going to be an important week. There will be two, as you can see, part 1 and part 2, or part 1 of the economic development plan. Those are going to be important conversations that we have, and we encourage everyone to come out and have part of that conversation, to listen to the plans that have already been put in place, but also to have your input on how those plans work. Plans are plans. Plans are not made to be in concrete. Plans are not made to be in stone. Plans are made to be changed as we move through the process. And when we get finished with our comprehensive plan, we will have a comprehensive plan, and then that plan will change, because it needs to. As different interests hit the city, as different things happen in the city, as different developments happen, you will see tweaks and that make this plan even better. So we ask for each of you to come out and be part of the process, be part of this plan, and make sure that this is part of your plan that you want to have for Huntsville. Thank you for coming out.